This is question 1a from the January 2012 paper. Not the best of graphs to have really, but what it's showing you then is precipitation and temperature characteristics of major biomes. And the question is saying, using figure 1 to compare the precipitation and the temperature characteristics of the tropical rainforest and the grassland biome. So the tropical rainforest is this this green area here, and then the grassland biome is that question there. So again, this is a compare, so you're using just the information from the graph. So what they're looking for is in allocating marks is just first of all a description of the biomes. So for example, tropical rainforest, they have higher amounts of precipitation, and grasslands have a lower amount of rainfall. You could also talk about the range of rainfall as well. So you can see here, tropical areas, they go from 150 centimetres of rainfall on average annually a year all the way up to 300, whereas grassland, they go from no rainfall at all up to 75, 76. That's looking at precipitation. And then for temperatures, tropical rainforests have a smaller range of temperature. Range of temperature is the difference between the lowest temperature, so it would be from about here, so you're looking at maybe 16 degrees or less than 16, 13 degrees, all the way over to this side here, which is about 31 degrees. Whereas the grassland biome, they can go from minus 0.1 from this point here, and then looking along this horizontal scale to 31 degrees. So that's a greater range of temperature. But then you could also comment on the fact that at times of the year they'll be in some places below freezing, while as tropical rainforest they never go below freezing, never go below 10 degrees. But the question wants a comparison though. So the exam board says that there'll be 1 mark for comparative comment with a possible 2 extra for data from the graph. So once you've made your point, try to use some information from the graph. So as long as you understand that along the bottom here is temperature, below here is below freezing, and then it goes up by 10, 20 and 30. Make sure, even though you can't see this is 25 and this is 35, you can understand it. And along this axis here then goes up in 50 centimetres of rainfall. It says the data could include a comparison of the range of temperatures. It could talk about the highest temperatures. Okay, so here they have a similar highest temperature, but rainfall, the highest rainfall here would be just over 60 centimetres a year, whereas for a tropical biome you're looking at over 300 centimetres more. So there's a comparison there. So they're looking for where you compare the 2 biomes. If you just talk about one and then you talk about the other one, they're not going to give you any marks for that. They're looking for a comparison, which is writing or comparing between the 2. They say awarding 4 marks, a maximum of 4 marks for just lifting figures, so that's just quoting the information from here. But to achieve 5 out of 5, they want some comparison between it. Okay, and they also need some comment on temperature and precipitation. This is question 2a from January 2012, and the question is looking at a flood hydrograph for the Indus River in Q1a in Pakistan. And the information that we have here then is along the vertical axis here we have discharge in cubic meters per second, or cumics. Along the bottom here you have the dates, 28th of July 2010, August, and then it finishes on the 8th of August 2010. And the question is just a kind of a straightforward, describe the flood hydrograph. Okay, now remembering that they just want a description from this, really. So you're not going to get any marks just for quoting information from here, but it'd be best to use the information here. So what they're saying is there's 1 mark for a valid comment. So you could just write 5 detailed sentences using some information from the graph to get the full 5 marks. What you could write about then, okay, in the description is that there's a steady increase to the 29th and 30th, okay, up to here, and from the 7th until the 8th here, there's a steady decrease. The rate of increase here increases, so you could talk about a faster increase in the amount of water flowing in the river, and then a rapid increase, reaching a level here or a peak at in between the 1st and the 2nd of August, and then a sharp decrease which then levels out, again referencing it to the dates at the bottom here, also referencing it to the amount of discharge. So as well as saying here for the peak discharge at this date, you could also say that is about 27,000 cubic meters. And then this being the falling limb of the hydrograph, then you could say that there's a steady decline then up until the 7th of April, when it starts to level out, level out then on the 7th to the 8th of August. So extracting the data, information's on the side here, but what they want though is the skill of you describing the trend, describing the pattern, and all the information I have here then is just on the river itself. You don't need information about any rainfall you expect, that we've seen on other hydrographs. But this one here is just the variation in the rate of increase, using words like steady, fast, rapid, steady again, steady, and then kind of flattening out, to answer this question. So hopefully you'll get a question like this, and then there's a description here, the information at the bottom here that you might want to use to describe what low flow is from using these statistics here, and then finding out on the graph where they might be and then describing that. But again, you're showing your skill in describing this graph.